Actually, I have a question. It's a musical question. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, the way that you execute your falsettos, for example, the way that you sing, you did that. I mean, for me, you were the first person to execute it that way, and this was in the 70s, really. I'm just curious where your inspiration came from. I mean, even about falsettos, but again, the way executed. For me, you were the first one to do that, dating back to the first album with Priest that I heard. So I'm just curious, where did your inspiration come from to sing like that, if any?
It's, in my case, it's a little bit different to a lot of other singers because I came from a time when, really the roots and the style of metal come from Priest and Sabbath, and so there were no other metal singers that I could really kind of find the inspiration and the ideas from. It was very much experimentation and seeing what you could do. So, but as far as the voice, again, I say to all singers, it's important to have as much of a distinctive style as it is for a guitar player or a drummer. You've got to kind of work outside the box that's there, try everything, do everything, and that's what I can do came about just by searching and experimentation.
That's, I guess, what makes you the god. I mean, there's been so many people influenced by your style.
It's great when it's great when you're in that world. I'll refer to Dave again because I think Dave's great, and I'm sure the kids in the hall had a tremendous amount of inspiration and influence in that world. When you're making something new, something different that nobody else has experienced, you don't realise where it can reach and how it can touch people. So when you get that feedback from people saying, I saw your show, or I heard your music and it made me think differently, and I found it really attractive, and you gave me something that I was looking for. That's fantastic. It's a real nice thing to have, talked about.
What is the turned up cross?
What is the what?
Turned up cross.
The turned up cross. It's a kettle of fish, that is. I don't know where that came from. I mean, there's this great debate about certain areas of metal, and you've done this in your recent work, Sam. And it's fascinating, really. I think that it's a touchy subject because, if you have some spiritual foundation like I do, I find that all that evil satanic stuff very, very troublesome. I'm intrigued by it, particularly in metal, because that's my world, and I sometimes wonder just how valid and serious these players in these types of bands take that type of portrayal. And some of them are genuinely scary people, which you've met. What about that guy that you interviewed in your movie?
The Gaul from Gorgoroth.
I kept repeating that bit.
The Satan part.
Yeah, the Satan part. Yeah. What did you feel like when you were saying that? Did you want to laugh, or were you going...
Honestly, I was worried it was going to be a very, very long interview because it took about 20 seconds for one word. That was the first question I asked. But no, it's a very, I don't know, it's an interesting question. I think part of metal is grabbing onto symbols that seem to have a power that is all-reaching and something we can't quite touch and can't quite define. Because I think the music itself is almost it is power. That is metal, right? It's a powerful experience sonically and visually, and I think that's why there's always been a harmony with crosses, whether the right side up or flipped upside down. But that's
it's again, I guess because my conviction has always been about the reality of what you do, which has to have a great deal of truth and honesty, and just have this really organic, this is who we are, this is what we believe in, this is a real deal. I sometimes wonder to what extent some of these bands are dabbling in that. How much are they doing that for controversy? How much are they doing that just to attract people to what they're about just by the imagery? And how much of it is genuine, and some of it is genuine. And that's the kind of difficult thing that I have to go with. Having said that, I'm a big believer in freedom of speech. First Amendment in America, anywhere. If you want to be stupid, you have the right to be stupid. If you want to be intelligent, you have the right to be intelligent. I don't think anybody should be muzzled up. I absolutely oppose any form of censorship. I really do. I think that for the most part, we're all sensible enough to either change the channel or switch the music off or whatever. Some people would disagree with me on that. They'd say, no, you have to tackle it. And maybe there are some issues that, depending on the diversity and the depth of certain issues, where you should confront it. But I think on the whole, society knows how to control itself. On the whole, all society. Whether it's PG rating, it was a big stink when the record companies wanted to have the stickers put on the CDs. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. Frankly, it just gives people, it's no different to ratings at the movies. Dealing with specific minds from specific age groups, because entertainment is incredibly effective on people. It doesn't matter whether when you're growing up, you can handle things. When you're a little kid, and you have profanity coming at you, for example, you should take an area of responsibility and labelling the problem. But that's not censorship, that's information.
When we met Dee Snider, I think it was Tenacious D, Scotty, that he made. He loves Tenacious D, but he made sure he took out certain songs, so he believed in censoring from within the family.
See, that's great, because you look at Dee, first time I saw Twisted Sister, I didn't know what to think, but I knew what Dee was trying to do. He's a great bloke, and he's a family man. And when he testified at the Senate, and there was that great moment when some senator asked him what was it, Twisted fucking Little Sister, what was that?
SMF.
What was it?
SMF.
SMF?
Yeah. Sick motherfucking Christ of, guess what it was? Sick motherfucking Christ.
And I thought, is he going to say what it means? Because I was watching it live, and he said it. And he was like, when he said it, I thought, well, at least he had the balls to say it. At least he stands by his conviction. And I think that's the other thing, in the world of entertainment, if you're going to be edgy, if you're going to be controversial, you've got to be able to back it up. And you have to back it up when you're not on stage. You have to back it up in an exchange like this, and you have to really, have something to say, support it.